symptom of pregnancy that is spoken about is morning sickness. That nausea really sucks, and if you're anything like me, you are ill from day one of your pregnancy to the day you give birth. I mean, I literally puked while I was delivering Titus. So, yeah, morning sickness really sucks, and because of that experience, I have been able to put together quite a big list, a list of 17 different ways you might be able to help reduce your nausea. None of these are going to be a fix-all, but maybe one of these will be something you haven't heard before and might help you through those bouts of nausea that you have. Alright, so my first recommendation is to pay attention to how much magnesium and vitamin B you're getting. If you aren't sure you're getting enough of leafy greens, nuts, and seeds, you want to eat bananas and dark chocolate, so that's totally an excuse to have some of that. Avocados, beans, fish, these things have magnesium, and your body isn't absorbing magnesium as well during pregnancy as it was before, which some people believe to be the reason people puke. Make sure your intake of these things are good. If you can't hold down those things, or you find that you don't like these things, do supplement with magnesium and vitamin B6. See what that does for your nausea. For some people, that totally wipes nausea off the board. The next thing to think about is your prenatals. If your prenatals are making you sick, try taking them at night before bed. And if they're still making you sick, try switching to a gummy prenatal. That's the only type of prenatal I could use. Another really big thing that a lot of people talk about is to stay hydrated, and I do believe this is important, but additionally to that, try drinking cool waters, not tepid or lukewarm waters, because sometimes those types of liquids can make you puke. Another thing to try to do is avoid drinking with meals, and instead drink your beverages before and after meals so as not to overload your stomach or create that sloshy feeling. Another thing to consider is, the famed lemonade, Coke, and ginger ale things. I found lemonade actually to be the most powerful for me, and also experience with leaving it flat or drinking it bubbly. One thing that I didn't know existed until I was pregnant was there are anti-morning sickness teas. I believe Earth Mama Angel Baby does make an anti-nausea tea, so why not give that a go and see what it does for you? But you might also be able to try peppermint tea. As far as meals go, try to eat them frequently, but small meals. I know this is a really popular one, you definitely heard it, but if you're not trying yet, try that. I found that if I let myself get hungry, I would get sick. But if I ate a big meal, I would get sick too. So many small meals throughout the day will probably be your safest bet. One thing to keep in mind is that you might want to avoid foods that trigger heartburn, because heartburn and nausea tend to go hand in hand. So avoid fried foods, really spicy foods, or anything that personally sets off nausea for you. And one thing that I learned, I usually found a food that I loved, that I would eat and eat and eat, but then all of a sudden that food was no longer loved and I would start puking whenever I ate it. So I would say try to mix up your intake of your favorite foods instead of eating the same thing all day and then risking hating it the next day. So ginger has long been told as a really great anti-nausea thing, but not everyone likes ginger. There are ginger candies, there are ginger, you can drink ginger tea, ginger ale, of course, but if those things don't work for you and you like ginger snaps, try those. These have the added benefit of being absorbent on top of having the ginger benefit. So for me, I really liked ginger snaps, and they're a little sweet. If you don't like ginger, you can try mints, like peppermint. You can also try sour candies. They're marketed as Preggy Pops, I believe, at Babies R Us or in maternity or pregnancy stores. But you can get the same exact thing in the candy aisle of your grocery store. So just look for a tart candy that might distract your senses from the nausea. So this tip that I'm about to tell you was the one that worked for me above all else. So you've heard of having saltines in the morning first thing. But what I'm going to tell you is going to expand on that rule. So instead of just having saltines, make sure it's a type of food that you like. So if saltines aren't doing it for you, I did dry cereal. I did dry Cheerios. Before your head even lifts off your pillow, eat a nice substantial handful of Cheerios or a few crackers. Don't even lift your head off the pillow. It's a little tricky, but if you can do that, your chances of actually puking or feeling nauseous once you stand up go way down. If smells are a big part of what makes you nauseous, then cut up a lemon or a lime or anything that you like to smell. You can get even essential oils like peppermint essential oil, lavender essential oil, put it on a cotton ball, put the lemon, the essential oil, and the cotton ball in a plastic bag, in a Ziploc, and carry it around with you. And when you smell that unpleasant smell, you can unzip it, sniff, and hopefully that will clear the urge to puke. If you do throw up, which if you do, it happens, try brushing your teeth and taking a little sip of water. It is important to stay hydrated, but it's also important to kind of feel good about yourself. And puking, it's nasty and it doesn't feel good, and your mouth will feel bad. So carry around a toothpaste and a toothbrush. It can kind of reset your nausea button. Nothing is working for you. Do talk to your doctor about medication. Talk to them about the safety of it, but sometimes these things aren't going to work, and sometimes nausea is severe enough where it does need a little bit of extra help. There are lots of anti-nausea medications that are safe for pregnancy out on the market today. You can take them orally, but another thing is if that does make you puke still, you can also take them as a suppository, which, maybe not the funnest thing ever, but if it works, it works. And my last bit of advice to you is to just try not to stress too much about it. As long as you're staying hydrated and you are eating a bit every day, your baby is getting enough. If you do feel like you are getting dehydrated, don't hesitate to call your doctor or go to the ER if you need to. But don't worry too much, because worry can also contribute to nausea. Stress can contribute to nausea. So these things might not fix your nausea, but I really do hope they help. And I will see you tomorrow, Sierra.